Hey guys, welcome to JayWalk Media. This is Matt Miller, and watch what happens when this smug, woke college student decides to confront Ben Shapiro. He should have known better, and Ben Shapiro eats him for lunch. But before we jump into the video, I want to ask you guys to please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you get notified when we post brand new videos. All right, let's jump in.
Do you come from Holocaust survivors, or are you a Jewish family that didn't?
So my great-great-grandparents arrived here. A lot of our extended family was killed in the Holocaust, but our immediate family
Your great-great-grandparents, but not your grandparents.
Right.
Oh, do you have friends whose grandparents were Holocaust survivors or anything like that?
Of course, many of them. Yeah, I've helped write memoirs of Holocaust survivors.
Yeah. Their families are kind of messed up, right? Like my family is very messed up.
I mean, if you go through a trauma like the Holocaust, I would imagine it would have impact.
They teach that trauma between generations. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, trauma very often in a lot of circumstances is passed down. I mean, I know some kids of Holocaust survivors who turned out fantastic and some who didn't. I mean, that's
yeah. Okay, so you are officially woke. That is what wokeness is about. It's like, people's grandparents or their great-grandparents were slaves.
Well, it's okay. No, it's okay.
I'm talking.
Guys, I actually want to hear. I want to hear. It's okay. I want to hear. Let's at least hear the argument. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Go.
What? He wants to hear me.
I do want to hear it. It's fine. Let him go. Let's hear it.
Come on.
Explain how that's woke.
So, I mean, the whole thing is like, let's see. So during Silent Calvin Coolidge's administration, do you know about like the Great Mississippi Flood back in the 1930s?
I understand that American history is filled with racial evil.
Yeah. And that causes some intergenerational trauma, which affects people's ability to be effective, things like that.
Fine. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why? So if the idea is that history has consequences, of course that's true. That's not wokeness.
Yeah.
That is not wokeness. What wokeness suggests is that fundamental institutions in American society are so... Yes, it 100% does.
I ran Elizabeth Warren's campaign. I helped organize her volunteers around here. I am a representative of wokeness.
Okay, well,
and that's just, this is all it is.
Well,
when I went to go get my first tattoo, the guy had lightning bolts and 88s tattooed on his neck. And as a Jewish person, that's really messed up. It's basically a threat.
There are racist people who exist. The argument that you're making, and I'm going to close with this because this is going in weird directions, and I don't really want to...
No, it's not going in a weird direction.
Just hold up a second. I let you get out your arguments, and now it's time for me to respond, because I let you say the full argument.
Okay, I'll let you respond, but...
No, not but. Now's my turn.
You are not characterizing what I'm saying accurately.
Now it's my turn. Your definition is inaccurate. The reason your definition is inaccurate is because any sentient human being would acknowledge that history has consequences.
Right.
But if the idea is, but that's not what wokeism is. Wokeism is a different thing. Wokeism suggests that all inequalities of today are attributable to not only historic injustices, but also continuing injustices in the now. And that all disparity is attributable to discrimination. Not just that.
A conservative is the only person. And I want to know why. Why is it that conservatives are the only people who define it like that? Why are conservatives the only people?
Okay, so we're gonna have to stop here because this is going nowhere. But
what's up?
I'm gonna have to stop with this with you because this is going nowhere. All I'm going to say is this. To sum up,
I just am trying to understand your perspective. Just one more second. On a
fundamental level, you're shifting definitions to avoid the consequences of your own argument. And if the idea is, and final point, if you are going to if you are also, just final point to sum up there. Final point
I don't know how I can follow that.
Yeah, I just want to make, honestly,
go ahead.
I want to make one final point to sum up there. If the idea is that traumas of the past invariably bleed down into the present, that does not explain why certain groups that have been historically not only marginalized but slaughtered in mass genocide are some of the most successful groups in our society.
So these college students always think that they can defeat Ben Shapiro. I mean, you got to give them some respect for getting up there, grabbing the mic, and trying to go toe-to-toe with him after so many woke college students before them have fallen and failed at this spectacularly. And it's got to be a hell of a thing to go viral on the internet for basically getting destroyed in front of all your classmates, and now the whole world has seen it. This kid really went for it. He tried to make an argument that systemic racism, or the acknowledgement of generational trauma, is the same as being woke and acknowledging that systemic racism is everywhere. And of course, Ben Shapiro was able to pick this apart pretty easily. He says, look, you have to acknowledge that history has consequences, and what certain events in history affect groups of people, and that's definitely a real concept. But that's not the same as being woke. Woke, as Ben Shapiro explains here, and he's correct, is saying that there's systems of oppression everywhere in our society, and the taking action to reconcile that, to try to equal the playing field, not to the end of creating equal opportunity for everybody, which is a good end to shoot for, but trying to create equal results in our society by forcing some people to fail more than they would, and artificially inflating the value or the success of others, right? So affirmative action is a great example of this. Taking kids in high school who are not really meant for college, and because of their skin color, their race, their religion, or gender identity, trying to force them to go to college and giving them an unfair advantage, while other groups of people, even though maybe they have great test scores, they have great success in academia, they're actually, it's a lot harder for them to get into these same colleges. So that's an example of being woke. But this kid, he was trying his best to paint Ben Shapiro and get him to admit that he is woke. Now, Ben Shapiro, it goes without saying that he is the opposite of woke. He's based, and he's the king of based. And look, if you're going to do this and confront a speaker on campus, at least have basic respect, and don't come across like a smug jerk. And I have to say that this guy did. He swore early at the entire crowd and said, shut the F up, I'm speaking. And that kind of attitude's not going to get you very far in life. Ben Shapiro let it slide, but I think that kid has a lot to learn about how to come across well, and also how to engage in civil dialogue with your political adversaries. It's amazing to see that people like Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens, and even though they're bitter rivals now, Brandon Tatum, Benny Johnson, these guys, they go to the front lines of our culture, of this culture war. And that's college campuses. One of the front lines, one of the main fronts here between conservatives and liberals is what is happening on college campuses. What are American young people being taught, and how are they being indoctrinated by the academic elites, or I wouldn't call them elites, the intelligentsia, the college professors who live in this bubble world where everything is ultra woke and ultra theoretical. A lot of these people have never had real jobs or have never really produced anything of value in our society, and they're professional complainers. And now they bring, dozens of kids into their classroom every semester, and or sometimes hundreds at the big lecture halls. And now they're projecting their weird woke worldview full of insecurities and falsehoods and theoretical ideas that aren't actually grounded in reality, and they're projecting that all over young minds and getting them all turned up, getting them to hate America, getting them to hate our institutions like the nuclear family, and it's a shame. But it's at this point we're at least alerted to it. We see parents rising up in school boards where this is happening, in public schools and at the lower level in high school. But I think that this clip here and so many like it are just prime examples as to why parents and kids considering going to college should think twice and really think, okay, what am I getting out of this? Because I'm going to go in debt, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt for a liberal arts degree. Do I really need this, or is there something more productive I could be using my time with? So anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this clip in the comments. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Ring the notification bell so you get notified when we post brand new content.